What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a leak for Nintendo. That's right, I normally do leaks, rumors for all kinds of games, and we don't normally talk too much about Nintendo, but I definitely am always open for it. And this time, it's Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, a game I'm very, very, very much looking forward to. Now, this is not necessarily new. This happened a few days ago, but there seemed to have been confusion on it. So there was an Australian retailer called Gameware, okay? And on their site, they posted, and I think actually there was a different one, and it was in like a foreign language, whatever language it was, and it roughly translated to Q2, coming out in the second quarter of 2021. And maybe that's actually, they say the apparent leak was first seen over on Reddit, which listed the Nintendo Switch game as coming out in the second quarter of 2021. Now, the confusion was, did they mean second quarter, so that would be like April through June, or did they mean second half? Because I guess quarter and half, the way you translated it, however it was translated, wasn't necessarily like, it wasn't perfect, so it led to some confusion. However, Gameware does say the second quarter, so and they say, as always, take it with a grain of salt, but this Gameware did correctly predict, or I mean, I guess predict, but I mean, they put up on their website the release date for Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, and that game just came out in November, so it's not like the last time they've done this right was like 3 years ago. No, this was literally back in like October that they knew the release date for Melody of Memory, or September, or whatever it was. So honestly, that's very, very soon. I want to believe it because obviously I would love a Legend of Zelda game right now, or really anytime they want to, right? The thing is, I don't know. I mean, that is so close. So second quarter does mean April through June. So that's just a few months away. And if that's going to happen, I don't know. I feel like they need to start kicking it into high gear around mid to late February, because then you have March. Say the game comes out, I don't know, late April, early May. Maybe we kind of pick right in the middle of that second quarter. If it comes out then, you got to have, I would say, a lead up to it. Now, Nintendo does absolutely do things differently than PlayStation, than Microsoft, than really any other. Nintendo is very unique in their own way, right? And you know this game, by the way, doesn't necessarily need promotion. It's going to sell 10 plus million copies, just like literally any other Nintendo exclusive does. Maybe it hits 15, maybe it hits 20, maybe it's 25. These are the things that are easily possible for a Nintendo Switch title. So I do hope that it's real. I want to believe it. I mean, the way that they handled Hyrule Warriors and the way that they've said, like, hey, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 is coming. You just have to, be patient with us. I don't know. I mean, there's not a lot. I mean, they obviously have the Super Mario 3D with Bowser's Fury and stuff like that coming out very, very soon. But really, that's it. Like, we think about Microsoft and the exclusives they have. They literally published an article on their own website that listed, like, 10 to 15 of them that are good. Now, they didn't say release dates, but they said, okay, here's a game, here's a slight summary of what this game is, here's who's making it, and it's coming out in 2021. And they did that for like 10 to 15 games. Sony, they didn't do that, but again, we know, and Destruction All-Stars just came out. We're having Returnal, we're having Kena Bridge of Spirits, we're having Ratchet and Clank, we're having Horizon, so we know we're having Gran Turismo. I mean, the list goes Stray, I can keep going, Ghostwire Tokyo. Every 5 seconds that I pause, I can think of a new game. So Sony, we know, but again, we kind of know through them just saying it out loud or putting it in ads and stuff like that. Nintendo's been very quiet. There's rumors of like a Super Mario Party. Remember, there was a I never talked about that, but like 3-4 weeks ago there was a rumor that they were working on a new Super Mario Party game. We know Mario Kart 9 is probably happening, right? So that's probably going to happen. That could release this year. There's a lot of things that could potentially happen this year. Splatoon 3, remember there was that leaker back around Christmas that did tease that in 2021, like Splatoon 3, this game, Breath of the Wild 2, along with two others that Metroid, and one other that I'm blanking on right now, but he showed those ones. So I do think Breath of the Wild 2 comes out this year. To be honest with you, I was kind of expecting it to just be a fall game, or the fall game, right? However, Pokemon was actually Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remake. So, and then you know what? And there's been more rumors towards that as well, that'll be their fall game. So if that's their fall game, honestly, again, like these games are going to sell no matter what. They are very different. Like Zelda is different than Pokemon, but if I were them, and I think they will do this anyway, it's not just because I'm saying it out loud, I don't think they're going to put those games that close together. I think if Pokemon is that November game, or even December, they like to put games out that first week of December. If that's the game for there, that's fine. I don't think you'd have I don't think you'd have Breath of the Wild 2 around the same time. Now, maybe you could have it in August, maybe you have it in September, and then you have Pokemon a few months later. But if you could have Zelda now, and not literally today, but like, in a few months from now, you gotta think about sales too. You gotta think about pushing. Now, the Nintendo Switch sells insane every single day. It sells really, really well. But in terms of games, they really don't have, besides, again, this Bowser's Fury add-on kind of thing, they don't have all that much. So having a Breath of the Wild 2, if you do like Splatoon 3 in the summer, you have Pokemon in the fall, I mean, bam, and then Metroid just randomly comes out. I mean, you can have an amazing, amazing year, honestly, with just a very few handful of games. So we'll have to see if it does release in just a few months from now. I would assume that we're going to get more talk about it, more announcements rather soon. And that's another thing too. If this is true, I feel like you're going to start to see the rumor mill start to like churn, like more people will be talking about it. That's probably how you'll know, if you guys want to keep track of it on your own, right? I honestly feel like that'll be a good test. If you see other people start to talk about it and it kind of like escalates, I think that's a good sign that it's coming relatively soon. If it kind of dies down, I don't know. I never expected it. Now, Breath of the Wild 1, I believe that came out in February, March. I don't remember the exact month, but I know it was springtime back of 2017, like spring of 2017. So it does make sense. I mean, if they want to do it around the same quarter, around the same handful of months as they did the first one, I think that's in this area. So I do think that makes sense. It's just I never expected it to come out so soon. But you know what? I'll drop everything for it. That's completely okay. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? When do you think this game is going to release? Do you think it will come out in just a few months from now? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on so you know all these videos go up. And I do a brand new video every single day on this channel. And so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.